Welcome everyone to this important announcement. My name is Jeff Miller, Head of Public Affairs at the lab. I was reminded by someone in the audience that this is the first official day of the Chinese Lunar New Year, the Year of the Dragon, so I take this as an auspicious occasion. So with that, I'm going to introduce the director of Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, Paul Alivisados, who will be introducing a very host of illustrious speakers who would like to make some comments related to this announcement. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have an important announcement to make today. Before I do that, I'd like to acknowledge a number of people who are here today to accompany us for this very important event. I'll start by mentioning we have Chancellor Robert Bergeneau from the University of California, Berkeley. Bob is here to represent the very close relationship and partnership we have between the lab and the campus. Congressman George Miller is here. We have, Bruce Darling representing the University of California Office of the President. And Mayor Gail McLaughlin is here from the city of Richmond, as well as Bill Lindsay, the city manager. And from the City Council of Richmond, we have Nat Bates, Jeff Ritterman, Corky Bouzet, and Jovanka Beckles, as well as Vice Mayor Tom Budd. So there's a huge turnout today. I'd like to acknowledge Andra Richards, who is here today representing the Department of Energy, one of our key stakeholders, and State Assembly Member Nancy Skinner is here, as well as we have representation from the office of Senator Lanny Hancock. Nathan Rapp is here representing her, and representation from the office of Senator Barbara Boxer. Jennifer Tang is here. So thank you all for being here for this very important announcement. And I'm absolutely thrilled and honored today to be able to announce that after an extensive and rigorous process, Berkeley Lab has selected Richmond as the site for our second campus. In the summer of 1931, young scientist Ernest Lawrence launched the modern era of multidisciplinary team science when he founded what ultimately became the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. And this laboratory's legacy of scientific achievement is an incredible testament to his early vision. Today, our scientific and operations leaders are working together to assure that the next century at LBNL will be just as bright as the first. And we're imagining a future with the next generation of the world's most advanced scientific facilities, new models for collaboration, both inside the lab and with other institutions, and planning for groundbreaking scientific discovery, but also very, very close partnership with our communities. Our Hillside campus, where we have grown up over the years, is a very strong foundation for Berkeley Lab's future, and we will continue to renew and improve the Hill campus in the coming years. But in recent decades, more than 20% of the laboratory has been housed in leased spaces scattered around the Bay Area. And in the end, the Hill campus can no longer meet all of our existing needs. Indeed, our local community and our advisory board urged us to look carefully at how we could house the lab in the future. And a year ago, we set out to explore the potential for consolidating the laboratory into a single site where our biosciences programs that are scattered around the Bay Area could be in one location and achieve a lot more synergy in their science, as well as leaving the prospects for future growth for the laboratory. The East Bay community responded in a way that we had not anticipated. We received more than 20 submissions in the initial phase, and ultimately we were able to narrow it down to 6 that we investigated in considerable detail. And I want to say that each community and developer partner that was selected as one of the 6 finalists really submitted very strong and very thoughtful proposals. You'll have noted that we took a little bit longer to make a decision than we had originally said, and much of that had to do with the incredible quality that, of the proposals that were submitted from all of the various communities. In fact, I think it would be very fair for me to say that the entire relationship between the Berkeley Lab and the East Bay community has really been redefined by this process. We reached such a deep and warm interaction with all of the communities that had a strong interest in housing us. We had a number of very good options, and in the end, we have come to the conclusion that the Richmond site has the strongest combination of attributes to meet our long-term needs. Some of the most important criteria that we had to consider concerned specific technical issues, like the detailed geotechnical studies that we performed on each and every site, as well as studies of many other related technical matters, but also the close proximity and ready access to the laboratory, the possibility for renewed and deeper partnership continuing with the Berkeley campus, the outstanding demonstration of community support that occurred in Richmond. I do want to take this time to thank everyone, many at Berkeley Lab who are here today with us, but also many community members throughout the East Bay who have been involved in the process of this determination for our second campus site. A huge amount of energy, time, and expertise of many, many people has gone into this effort, and I want to thank all of those who have offered us information, opinions, and guidance along the way. We have done our very best to listen to all of the community and stakeholders and to incorporate all of their comments into our review. One resounding message we heard from all the communities in the East Bay was that they want their leaders to place a greater emphasis on science education, because that is seen broadly throughout the East Bay as a key to our future. And we have heard that very loud and clear. So what we can say to the East Bay at large and to the communities that have not been selected today as the site for our second campus is that Berkeley Lab will be redoubling its efforts to reach out to all of the East Bay communities in the areas of science education. And we will be trying very hard to build deeper partnerships with each of you in that area. We will continue to be deeply involved in Berkeley, Oakland, and other Bay Area communities. And we hope that in the future, these interactions will deepen and become more fruitful. In the next stage, now that we have made this selection, it is just a beginning of a journey, and there will be a long process that will be involved. We will be engaging in the development, along with the University of California, Berkeley, a long-range development plan for the site, and we will also be starting detailed environmental reviews. And we do ask for the community at large to work with us closely and to give us feedback during this stage of environmental review so that we can make sure that we will be good stewards of this site in the future. And so we're depending on the community to help make this happen. We also will be looking closely for working out the specific steps of the financing stage that will lead to the first project taking place. And we'll be working closely with all the key stakeholders in that area. I do want to once again thank all of you for your help, and I'd like now to introduce some other speakers who will be able to say a few words about this day. And once we've concluded, a set of additional speakers will be available also for some questions. So I'd like to start by handing it over first to Chancellor Robert Bergeneau of the University of California, Berkeley.
Thank you, Paul. So, of course, I'm overjoyed to be here. We've had a long-time presence here. We've been UC Berkeley, and with a very helpful symbiotic partnership with the city of Richmond, and now with the addition of Lawrence Berkeley Lab to this site, we will, I'm certain, achieve a critical mass, which is going to make this one of the premier research centers, not just in this county nor in this state, but in the country as a whole. We have a long time, extraordinary history of partnership between the University of California, Berkeley and Lawrence Berkeley Lab. Amusingly, it begins at the top. Paul Olivasato is director of the lab, and also a distinguished professor of chemistry at the university. I'm chancellor of the university, and just to prove it, here's my badge. So I'm also the lowest level staff member at the laboratory. I haven't figured out what this asymmetry means at the present time. The more than 200 professors at UC Berkeley, which includes myself, as you just saw from my LBL badge, also have appointments at the laboratory and do research there. We have more than 1,000 of our students receive research training at the laboratory. And this enables all of us, myself and my own students included, to have access to world-class infrastructure. So we're now going to see this infrastructure develop progressively here on the site in Richmond, and we're very excited about that. The consolidation of the biological work by LBL, I think will give there a critical mass for the laboratory, and then ultimately also we'll see symbiotic university research that will be carried out here as well. There, of course, already is some university research carried out here, work in transportation, work in seismic safety, and some other programs, and we anticipate seeing a significant expansion of the university's presence here as well. As all of you know, we're quite landlocked in the city of Berkeley, so each time that a new national program comes along, we're challenged to try and figure out where we're going to house it. And now with the critical mass here at the Richmond Field Station, we think that we have new possibilities which will open up doors for us which have been closed up to this point. So I want to thank the laboratory, first of all, for the rigorous process that they went through. I think it was really important, and for their wisdom in choosing this extraordinary site. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob, and we'll be very happy to promote you to a higher level position at the laboratory at an appropriate occasion when you designate. I'd like now to turn the podium over to Congressman George Miller.
It's a great day. It's a wonderful day for the citizens of the East Bay, for the citizens in the city of Richmond, and for our nation, because this decision by the Livermore Berkeley Lab signals another generation, the next iteration of scientific discovery and economic growth that the national labs have participated in since their inception. They've driven the discovery that has led to the innovation, that has led to the economic growth, that has led to the jobs in every site in which they're situated. The idea of now having the consolidation and the eventual expansion of that mission here in Richmond at the field station is as exciting as it can possibly be for all of our citizens, for the city council, the mayor, and others who worked so terribly hard to show the lab as they were considering the sites, the kind of cooperation, the level of cooperation that they could receive from the city of Richmond, and the advanced thinking that Richmond had put together to think about this day. And I want to thank City Manager Bill Lindsay for participation in those discussions and that leadership with the lab. It's just a magnificent day. But the most important signal here is not only the jobs that will be created in the Bay Area, but it's also about, as I said, a signal that this nation is getting ready to once again make this kind of basic investment in research. And it is that research that is really the only sustainable source of economic growth. Because, as I said, it leads to the innovation, it leads to the growth, it leads to the jobs. And that's what we have got to understand in this nation. And our national labs have led that way here in the Lawrence National Lab. We see them discovering and unlocking the secrets and the processes of the universe and giving us new information on a regular basis in that discovery, as we saw with the awarding of the Nobel Prize to Professor Perlmutter. We also then see that they're delving into the smallest and the tiniest elements of life and scientific discovery in their work in the cells and nanotechnology and all of what we believe is going to be the future of their hallmark, which is they've led this nation in energy efficiency, in the renewables, in the clean energy discovery, and working on the process to make it affordable and to make it acceptable across our nation to lead to that goal of energy independence and clean energy sources to drive future generations. So I'm just absolutely excited to celebrate with all of my colleagues in the elected representative of East Bay and of the city of Richmond, and to welcome the lab and all that it means for our nation and for our community. Thank you so very much for making this very wise decision to select the city of Richmond. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll now turn over the podium to State Assembly Member Nancy Skinner.
Morning. It is indeed a great day. While all of the sites that the lab was considering would have been excellent choices, I'm particularly pleased that Lawrence Berkeley National Lab recognized Richmond for the jewel that it is. Many of us have known that, and this just affirms it once again. There's so much that Richmond has to offer the lab, and of course the lab will have to offer Richmond. And we really look forward to this exciting development. As the representative of the state of California, I also wanted to highlight some of the incredible knowledge that the lab has offered the state of California. As you know, the state of California is the leader in energy efficiency in this country, in renewable energy, and in a host of clean technology areas. But much of our brilliance, the state's brilliance in the policies around efficiency and renewables, the research emanated from the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratories. So the state has gained much and will continue to gain. We love this expansion here in the East Bay. We like the jobs that it will bring and the educational benefits, because as was mentioned by Lab Director Paul Alvasados, our schools are so hungry for science education and for really state-of-the-art science education. And continued partnerships with the lab, which I know it will offer, will really gain for our students and for our communities. So I celebrate Richmond, I celebrate the labs, and I'm so glad to be able to join with you today.
Thank you so much. It's really thrilling to hear those words. And I'd like now to introduce Bruce Darling, who is the Vice President for Laboratory Management of the University of California.
Thank you, Paul. Let me just say that the President of the University of California, the Regents, indeed the entire University of California community, join you in this tremendous excitement today as we announce Richmond as the site for the second campus. I want to thank all the communities that competed for this opportunity, but I want to congratulate all of you here in Richmond, the City Council, the Mayor, city officials, all of you who came together to put together a stellar proposal and to achieve the victory you've achieved today. Let me just take a minute to reflect on Ernest Lawrence, the gentleman after whom the Lawrence Berkeley Laboratory is named, because he created a legacy that few people in our world have ever created for the society that we live in. Lawrence was a farm boy from South Dakota. He went to a prominent Eastern University for graduate school and joined the faculty. But there was a singular decision made by that university in 1929 not to grant him tenure and not to give him a salary increase. A very wise dean of the University of California, Bob Burge, immediately seized on the opportunity, recruited him to what is now Berkeley but was the University of California in 1929. 2 years later, Ernest Lawrence was the youngest full professor at the University of California. A short 10 years after coming west from the East Coast, he was awarded the 1939 Nobel Prize in Physics. This was the first time any faculty member at the University of California had received a Nobel Prize, and it was the first time any faculty member at a public university in the entire United States had received a Nobel Prize. Ernest Lawrence went on to define the modern University of California as we know it, to set the high academic standards for which the University of California is known, and he also went on to be the founder of 5 national laboratories. He had a role not only in the Berkeley Laboratory, which was his personal laboratory, in what is now Oak Ridge National Laboratory, in the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, where he was involved in creating the nuclear materials that were crucial to the victory in the Second World War. He also went on to found the Livermore Laboratory, that also bears his name. He also revolutionized the practice of science and engineering, not only in the United States, but throughout the world, by bringing together large multidisciplinary teams of scientists from many fields, engineers, excuse me, and others, to create the science that he created. And this is the legacy that will cause this site to become as prominent as the other site that sits in Berkeley, just adjacent to the Berkeley campus. So in conclusion, let me just once again thank you for your enthusiasm in welcoming us to the Richmond site, and to congratulate you once again on your great victory. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bruce. And it is true, we are very, very mindful of the incredible history that underlies our organization in the University of California. And if there's one thing that E.O. Lawrence did bequeath to us also, it was this idea of team science that you referred to, and the ability to simultaneously have the most creative and energetic scientists work with a large group of people in order to bring their vision about in a very open and sharing way, with generosity of spirit. So that's a big part of what the laboratory is certainly all about. And we are looking today to consolidate our biosciences here. We have activities at many different sites around the Bay Area in areas of genomics and biofuels and health and cancer research and other areas that are all scattered about. And for that purpose, we have one leader at the laboratory today, one of our top scientists, who is helping us to fashion the plans for the future of biological sciences, which will, of course, be the cornerstone of what emerges in the early stages here. So I'd like now to turn it over to that scientist, Jay Kiesling, who's the Associate Laboratory Director for Biosciences at LBNL.
It's really exciting to be here. I represent the more than 800 people in biology and bioengineering at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory who'll be the first people to inhabit this site and to do work at this site. As Paul mentioned, biology is one of the most rapidly growing areas of science in the U.S. and the world today, and it has been growing incredibly rapidly at Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, so much so that we've had to locate our scientists all over the East Bay. And while this has been really great for us, we welcome the opportunity to bring all of us together into one location so that we can attack some of these really important problems that we're facing in the areas of energy and environment and healthcare together as a group, and do the kind of team science that Lawrence really conceived of and built the national laboratories around. The other important aspect, I think, about bringing biology together here on this site is the tremendous growth in jobs that this could potentially bring to the area. We have scientists in the institutes that are being run by biology, like the Joint Bioenergy Institute and the Joint Genome Institute, that are so excited about starting companies. And many of these companies we already see the fruits of in the Bay Area, and I think there's much more potential, and these companies will be located here in Richmond and throughout the East Bay, and these are jobs that will come to the area and stay in the area. So we're really excited to be here. We thank the City of Richmond for hosting us, and the University of California of Berkeley, of course, for sponsoring this great site. Thanks.
Indeed, we do look forward to an opportunity as we build the site and the science here to have innovative public-private partnerships, and I think we will see that the laboratory will be a true engine of economic development in the Bay Area as a whole. as we looked around the Bay Area and investigated all the different options of where we could go, we were strongly, strongly welcomed by all the communities, but especially and most deeply by Richmond, and we're very grateful for that. I mentioned to you earlier that we had council members Bates and Ritterman and Bouzet and Beckles here. I'm pleased now to say that we had a clean sweep of the Richmond City Council. Jim Rogers has joined as well. So thank you all for being here. We're thrilled that you could all be here today. And I do want to say in the most heartfelt way on behalf of Berkeley Lab how excited we are about having the opportunity to work closely with Richmond. This is an incredible community, and we think that we're going to have a very deep and very special partnership. It's going to be really strong. And to kick that off, I'd like now to welcome Gail McLaughlin here.
Hi, we are so excited to be hosting the second campus of Lawrence Berkeley National Lab here in Richmond. It was a long, anticipatory several months as this decision was being made, and we are just so delighted that they have chose the city of Richmond, and we think it is an excellent choice. Richmond is the best place to have been chosen because we are an official green city of the state of California. We are #1 in the Bay Area for solar installed per capita. We have many, many innovative green businesses and clean tech businesses, 50+ core green businesses and a cluster association here in Richmond. We have a world-renowned green job training program. We're just in the process of transforming our city into a really true green and sustainable city, with our ordinances, our resolutions, our policies, and our programs. So this is a great fit. So we are just so delighted. And of course, we are excited about the good paying construction jobs that this is going to bring. And we're also looking forward to partnering with LBNL and removing the remaining toxins. But we also are excited to share our amenities with the employees of the lab. And those amenities include our restaurants, it includes our various modes of transportation. We're close to BART, AC Transit, we have train transportation, we have bike paths, we have pedestrian paths, we have 32 miles of bay along the bay, 32 miles. We are the city with the largest amount of mileage along the bay of shoreline. So that's the amenities, and of course you can see just from being right here on the waterfront what a beautiful site this is. And we also look forward to partnering with the lab to bring about benefits for our community, and we know that they have talked about their interest in that as well. So with that, I just want to say thank you to everyone who worked so hard on this. I want to thank, first and foremost, the Richmond community who really put their hearts and souls into showing the lab, and we're so glad that they felt that show of unity and desire to have the lab come here. So thank you to the Richmond community. Thank you to the Richmond City Council. We're all here, as was said, and a special thank you to Council Member Jeff Ritterman, who put in tireless hours in terms of welcoming the lab here. And of course, thank you to our wonderful city staff. The city manager's office was phenomenal. Bill Lindsay, Shasa Curl, everyone involved, and all our staff. We have so many staff members. So many of our department heads are here, and others throughout our city departments. So, with that, I just want to say it's a celebration today, but it's just the beginning. It's the beginning of us moving forward to really show what sustainability is all about and to show what innovation is all about. So, welcome to the innovative city of Richmond.
Thank you so much, Mayor, for those kind words. I would like also to invite Bill Lindsay, the city manager, to say a couple of words. We're just thrilled that Bill was part of this process of helping us along.
Thank you, Paul. It's my great pleasure to welcome the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab second campus to Richmond. And just, I'm really privileged to have the opportunity to say a few words just to thank people that were involved in this effort. As been said, I'd like to thank the Richmond City Council for being really very united in their support for LBNL in this decision-making process, and especially Councilmember Jeff Ritterman, who was personally engaged at the highest level, and I guess maybe I'd say at a lowest level, even leafleting employees as they would enter work to try to convince the employees of the lab that this was a wonderful place, that it is the wonderful place that it is. Thanking the City of Richmond staff, and especially Shasa Curl, who was the project manager in our office and did such a great job with the technical support, and the community that turned out in such large numbers to show what a welcoming, a wonderfully diverse community it is, and I know that the lab will find it to be such for generations to come. We worked with UC Berkeley and the staff there, SKS Development and WRT, who created a vision for this campus that I think is really unsurpassed. And I do think that LBNL handled the decision process so well, and especially I want to thank Lab Director Paul Alvasados and Sam Chapman for being such professionals and treating this whole process with such dignity. It was really a very good process. Of course, I'm a little biased, but I think you made the right decision as well. I think this is a campus that will inspire interaction, collaboration, innovation, going forward. This is a great space, wonderful natural, cultural amenities, great transportation systems, and it's wonderful that the lab will continue this synergistic relationship with UC Berkeley. I think that's very special, going back to Professor Lawrence many years ago. This will be a great research campus, and it will continue to provide solutions of global significance. I also wanted to thank Congressman Miller, who during the process actually became a sort of a personal coach for me, offering some advice and guidance. And I think I'll call him Coach Miller instead of Congressman Miller from now on. But a couple of other things I wanted to say just in closing. First, I appreciated hearing the history of the lab. I know a little bit about it because about 60 years ago, my father worked at the lab. Before it was called Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, it was the RAD Lab, and Paul and I talked about that. So this is really a special event to have that legacy in my family. And I spent time in Oak Ridge at the lab as well. That was so this is really special from that point of view. But it's really special in another way too, and that is that by its very nature, LBNL's research invokes an openness to possibilities and optimism about the future. That's what research is about. And it's on a voyage of discovery that will improve the quality of life and health for individuals all over the globe. And in Richmond, we share that openness, the possibilities. We share that optimism about the future. And even though our day-to-day activities are remarkably different, we don't engage in the type of research that you do, we nonetheless are really working to improve the quality of life and health for our residents. And we know that your work can continue to inspire us in this effort. So thank you very much for this wonderful selection for your second campus.
Thank you, Bill. So I think you get a sense from all of this just what an incredible opportunity we have before us in the coming years. The lab will be redoubling its efforts to do really foundational research that can help us create a better energy future, better health, and an improved environment. Those are our deep goals, and those are values that we share very closely with the community here of Richmond. So we're going to start working together now. If we work hard together and make this long-range development plan, start to secure the financing, and work our way through the environmental impact studies and getting all the input from the community, I'm optimistic that we'll be back here in 2016 opening the doors to the campus, and it's going to be very exciting then. Thank you.